Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you're having a good week. It is Thursday, August 4th. We're gonna look at SPY. Pretty flat today. GME's right on the cusp. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy Money sticks around. We have a Twitter you can follow us on at HappyMoneyYT. Might do Twitter Spaces again probably this weekend, maybe tonight. We'll see. We have a Discord server, link for that's in the description. Both those are free to join. Welcome to follow. Join up. SPY actually, it's weird on my Weeble chart. On the daily, it's showing the high as 415. And on the hourly chart, showing the high as 417.44. I don't know why this wouldn't be counted on the daily. Weird. Right? See what I mean? I'm looking at this high right here. At any rate, today, if we're counting the 415, not the 417, today, or yesterday rather, busted through that high. Today hasn't yet, but it's right on, that's also right on kind of the cusp also of this divergence being blown out and us breaking through it. CPI is next Wednesday. SPY will probably come down tomorrow. Probably still continuing this range. It's kind of pushing on the upside, so maybe it'll break through that resistance before CPI. I guess we have earnings and Tesla stock split and that sort of thing that could push it through there. I think what's being priced in is 8.8 on CPI, so that would be probably a market crash after that if it comes in higher, if it misses expectations basically. And at 8.8, I am not expecting it to be that low. So far that to me would mean the end of the bear market rally, unless if they up their expectations, and they might. Those are always changing. I have links for that on our Discord for all that data under info, trading tools. So lots of stuff in here. Fed rate monitor tool. What percent rate hike is it predicted? But yeah, so if their expectations are really low, then they're setting themselves up for failure if it comes in, higher, basically. Anyways, GameStop today, man, another hypey morning. This is so crazy. It's really been close to repeat every day. Today's a little bit different because I think we're pushing up against this pretty strong resistance. So we didn't have quite the same price action, whereas the other days we kind of ripped up till what, like 10 or so, sometimes 10, sometimes 11 was kind of the peak. These past 4 days, here's 10, there's another peak at 10, 11. Kind of the same deal on all these days. But yeah, today it just kind of was going out of the gate, and then it just basically got right to the resistance, and then just consolidated and just got stuck right away. So 10:35, then we started to see it. The candles get smaller, the volume drop off, and kind of a meltdown. When I saw the rejection on this resistance up here, I was like, all right, I'm not sure. Basically, I was thinking it's probably rejecting it. We're probably going to come back down like we did after the split. But the fact that we're holding up so well, and we've held up so well during the day, I don't know. Tomorrow might be huge to the upside. So I really see it going either way. And I think a lot of it actually has to do, well, I think AMC will have a big factor. AIMCR, if you will, AMC or AIMCR. It's our AMC anchor, and she's doing well today. We'll see what happens after earnings. If it rips, then AIMCR will probably help GME be released a bit to the upside. SPY's moving up. I feel like tomorrow could be either way. Fridays are typically down. Price action has been different ever since the split, though. Not only Fridays not being down, but just this price action that we've had of us just kind of stepping up this and just slowly increasing volume. I mean, this is all bullish. I was kind of, for the big breakout, I'm waiting for big volume. Like every day is a little more though, so I'm always like, oh, is this it? Today, right now, we have less than yesterday, but I think we'll probably have a little bit more by close. We've got about 45 minutes. And yeah, so we could rip even at the end of today. I'm not sure. It's kind of right on the cusp there. So again, if we come up here tomorrow and Might have one more higher high than we did today. And if it gets rejected, I'm thinking it'll probably come back down into the 30 range. Probably find support back here somewhere. Or wherever it does, but if it gets rejected, and it'll be pretty obvious rejection most likely. Probably similar to this day. So, might have this day tomorrow, or tomorrow might be a 20 to 30% up day, like this day. That's honestly what I see. I guess it's possible it chops around, but maybe. I mean, it has changed quite a bit since the split, but this is a big resistance. I don't think it will. So that being said, I was kind of in and out of plays as much as I'm wishy-washy about what I'm saying right now. I had calls, I sold them, made a little profit this morning on the volatility, waited a little long because I was like, this is much more volume, these big candles are good. Made a little profit and then got out of them, and then actually got puts somewhere here for next week. Just thinking we rejected it, it's bad, and then it's just held up so well. And then what I cannot deny is my trusty indicators. We've got a bullish MACD from yesterday, which actually wasn't there yesterday. But actually, I think Donro said it was yesterday, and Weeble had it red, but you know how the end of day shenanigans go, and it flips bullish or bearish. So at any rate, we've got a bullish MACD on the daily. We've got a green candle over the 9 moving average. I wait for these two indicators on GME for months at times. So with that, and then yeah, with everything else, of course, it's bullish on it. I was like, I gotta have exposure for next week. So I got back into next week calls. Everything from this week is closed. But yeah, back into next week. I think I got 43 strike. So basically, if you look where we have bullish MACD on the daily, and a green over the 9 was here. You know what I mean? So if it's at the beginning of a trend, it was here. So we've had it here, but I don't think we're in this range. It didn't look anything like this. So if anything, we are, if you look on a weekly chart, it's easier to tell. If anything, we are getting close to this breakout to the upside on the weekly chart, which would put us back up into that 50 range. So daily bullish MACD and green over the 9 on that candle, and I have to have exposure for that. This was the first one right here that really triggered. Back here was on the hourly, and then the daily was actually by here on that one. So yeah, had to get back long. If tomorrow does kind of rip up in the morning and we kind of see the same type of price action and it rejects that 40, I'll probably be closing out of those positions, reducing exposure, and expecting us to come down basically. Today's candlestick, if it closes like this, looks pretty similar to this, even though this was red. So maybe today will just be a copy of that, and tomorrow we'll get one of these days again, which, what was that, 6% yesterday, 7%? Something like that. And that would put us over 40. So I think with that, we'll probably, no, it might put us right at 40. Man, it's getting crazy. It's getting wild up here. Looks like it's coming down a little bit. Well, I'm going to listen, or not listen, but I'll watch the chart on AMC after hours to see what happens. Following Weeble, TA, and the screener and all that stuff, I entered and exited plays, and it's actually working really well. So I'll show you guys some of those. My rev shares, I'll have to hold these for a bit, but I think I still think this thing could rally big. I actually closed OST today for a little loss, but the rev shares I do still have. And like it's coming down a little bit. Really, if it flushes through any of these supports, I'm gonna think, okay, this was a rejection. But so far, the way it's held up so well today, and it's not a full-on rejection to me. So I might have that rejection tomorrow, or it might blow through tomorrow, or maybe it'll chop. Who knows? What did I close? Did a lot of trades today. Closed out my LTHM. It was profitable. Closed out Mitch. I think that was break even. Some of these ones that I looked at the chart and the TA a little bit more, and I didn't like them that much. Opened up Datadog. Opened up Asiga. Heard that monkeypox news, and opened up just a weekly Siga call right here on this candle. Or was it? Yeah. Closed it out here. They have earnings after hours, so I didn't want to hold it any longer, but it looks like it kept going pretty good. My Carvana, looks like that closed. They have earnings after hours. I was planning on closing it today. I kind of missed the top. Kind of got pre-earnings jitters and dumped on me. So the chart was looking good. We'll see what happens after earnings. If earnings don't make it fall out of this pattern. Basically, if it doesn't break that support, that 32.43 support from earnings, or even if it does, and it's a big green candle tomorrow and pushes up through it, then I'll probably get back into those Carvanas for the rest of that upside move. I come down here a bit. Let's see, SoFi, Ford, I opened up. Maybe a little early on these because they've just come off of kind of a hot streak. But I got a pretty good fill on it. We'll see. These might take a day or two to cool down. And I was thinking, instead of spreads, which typically I like to do, it's just cheaper. With these, since I don't know the actual timing on when it will hit kind of the price target, I'm going to try and just do long calls unless it's too expensive. Because if I get a spread that basically expires around here with a price range in here, if it rips up here in a couple days, which it might, and so far this TA has been it's been happening typically before the window of time. So if it happens sooner, that spread really won't gain me as much as just a long call, because the short leg of that will be pretty negative. So with the debit spreads, you want it basically all the time. You want it at that price, near that price by the end. And so if it rips up here now, who's to say it's going to stay here or go higher? It might come back down by the end, and then you missed an opportunity here. So I think just long calls for me when they're bullish, or long puts, and then if it's cheap enough at least. And then once it hits my kind of this price range, probably sell it unless it's staying pretty bullish. But yeah, so got SoFi and Ford, just show you right here. So closed out of those for profit, closed out of match, I think about break even. GME was in and out of. Datadog, I got I did spreads on these. That was before I was starting to think maybe I shouldn't do spreads. 125, 140 Datadog calls. They had earnings yesterday. These are for October. So looking pretty bullish, and just had earnings, so no news should come out about it that should dump it. Yeah, so I'm gonna ride this up. Good volume today. I mean, it did sell off after earnings, but this is a lot of buying pressure coming in from it also. So diamond bottom here, as you can see that it's broken out of, and increasing volume, bullish MACD, everything else that we like. On Datadog, there's the SIGA. NCLH I closed today for basically break even. Just want to get out of it. And there's SIGA. GME, I opened up 31 GME calls for next week, 42 strike. Those are these right here. And then the Carvana I closed out, I think 30% on that. And we'll see what happens after earnings. Ford, I got 15 calls for September. And then SoFi. This one might be a little early too. It's pretty hot on that RSI on the daily, which I kind of wanted to wait. I put in a low bid and it filled, so we'll see. This might come down for a day or two, not sure. But I think the upside is still pretty good on this. Good volume coming in, and you've got this megaphone bottom, calling it kind of like a wedge, basically. That's giving it a price target on $17. So this head and shoulders, see this one just back here, close the head and shoulders, and then within just 4 days, it already ripped past that price target. So that's why it's like, if I had a debit spread for expiration here, this gain right here would not be nearly as much if I just had calls that I could sell here. But the calls I'll get will cover this whole time frame basically, which is part of the reason why this play is working better, just because I'm getting more time. It's much safer. Time is always safer, for sure. SoFi, they just makes contracts move slower, and it's more expensive though. So here's the SoFi TA. That was all the plays I opened, and some of the ones I closed. And yeah, VRT, I'm actually trying to close that. That one's up a bunch today. I'm up 82% on that just last 2 days. I think I opened it. It's just really hot on that RSI. Probably close it. I have an order to close it, and might re-enter after it cools down a little bit. And then BlackBerry's doing well. ASML is up 45%. Airbnb is up 65%. BlackBerry's up 41%. The BBBY is up, of course. Yeah, ASML is another good one that's rallying. And Airbnb. This one just had their dividend. Where is that today, actually? Wait, I should probably close this. I need to look into this. Next dividend date. Ex-dividend date, it'll probably sell off after, so I'm gonna look into that when the video's over. If it is ex-dividend date today, I'll probably close that. That's a pretty normal thing for it to rally up into ex-dividend date. Here's BlackBerry, still looking good. It's good on the RSI. It doesn't look too overheated. It's coming up nicely. So that's what I got for you guys. Big things coming for GME shortly, I believe, whether it's up or down. Anyone's guess. We'll see what AM Kerr has for us in store. Peace out.